to be a book haul. I was really excited for this because here in Australia, um, twice a year, the Lifeline charity holds what they call a book festival. And basically, what it is just they hire out the convention center, and they have two halls in the convention center just filled with secondhand books. They have a $2.50 haul and then the high quality haul, which varies in price. I'll be honest with you, I never shop in the high quality haul simply because I feel like some of the books can be a little bit overpriced considering they're secondhand. So I just stick to the $2.50 haul, which is totally fine with me. So this morning I went there and I was so happy. I made a morning of it. I went in, I got my Starbucks. I had Starbucks before I went there, and then I went in. I got to the city at about 8:20 in the morning, and then I went and had Starbucks and sat in the cafe at Starbucks for about 15 minutes and had my drink, and I also got like a cookie. And then the reason why I did that was because I didn't want to get stuck in a huge line when it first opened up, because the book festival opened up at 8:30 this morning. So by the time I finished my drink and then I walked over to the convention center, I was able just to walk straight in the door, no lines, no nothing, and it was great. It was a perfect time to go that early in the morning because there was not many people there. By the time I left, it was starting to get a lot busier. So let's jump into what I got. I spent $32.50. I didn't want to go too crazy with books because I do have a lot of books and I wanted to be a little bit more selective with books and not just buy books for the sake of it. And I got 13 books. I didn't get most of the authors that I had on my list. I had like a list of authors to look out for, but to be honest with you, when you are shopping in the $2.50 section, a lot of it is going to be, most of it is like older stuff, so you get what you get. And so I didn't go in with any like high expectations. I just had a list of authors to keep an eye out for, and if I saw them I'd grab them, if not it didn't matter. But also if I saw other things that weren't on my list that really intrigued me, I would get those as well. One of the authors though that was on the list, actually it's literally the only author that was on my author list that I actually found books of, and lots of books of, was actually Katie Ford. I have read one of her books in the past. I really loved it, so I was really excited to find a lot of her books. So let's get into what I found today. So all the books I'm going to show you now are all the Katie Ford books. So this one is called Paradise Fields. I really love the illustrations on all of the covers of Katie Ford's books. This one does have a very slight tear in the cover up here. That's fine. It didn't bother me that much. I can just put a bit of tape over it. It's not a big issue. I'm going to read you the synopses of all of these because I literally have no idea what any of these are about. So, the Paradise Fields is, it says, it's not as if Nell hadn't enough on her plate already, organising a farmer's market in the picturesque Paradise Fields and keeping track of her unnervingly beautiful teenage daughter, plus sorting out a house full of animals are quite enough to keep her busy. The last thing she needs is another complication in her life, but when her old friend Sir Gerald dies and his son Piers, accompanied by his glamorous American wife, takes possession of the big house, it seems that preserving the fields is not on his list of priorities. Nell takes up arms, determined to fight for the meadow and the market she loves, but whom can she trust? She's pretty sure her friends Sasha and Vivian are on her side, but her sensible boyfriend Simon, an estate agent, is less encouraging. And then there's Jake, the exasperating yet attractive stranger who kissed her under the mistletoe. Maybe she's been a not-so-merry widow for far too long. So that one sounds super good. So glad to find that one. The next Katie Ford book I found was Going Dutch. And again, I love the illustrations on this one. This one's in a lot better condition. It has been read because obviously the spines are all cracked. That doesn't bother me. But The book itself is in pretty good condition. So this one says, Jo Edwards never planned to live on a barge. She's not even sure she likes boats. But when her husband trades her in for a younger model, she finds her options alarmingly limited. Dora Hamilton never planned to run out on her own wedding, but as the big day approaches, her cold feet show no signs of warming up, and accepting Jo's offer of refuge aboard the Three Sisters seems the only alternative. As Jo and Dora embark on reorganizing their muddled lives, they realize they both need a practical way to keep themselves afloat. But despite their certainty that they've sworn off men for good, they have bargained for the persistent intervention of attractive but enigmatic Marcus and laid-back charming Tom, who both seem determined to help them whether they like it or not. This one actually sounds like it's going to be a really good one. They live on a barge, which is really intriguing. I can't say I've read a story like that before. The next one is called Wild Designs by Katie Ford, and again, just the covers. The covers are beautiful. The condition of this book is really good. The spines are cracked. The spines are cracked on all the books, so it is what it is. But the cover is really nice condition though. So this one says, Althea is the mother of 3 strong-minded children, one of whom is a Buddhist and owner of a finicky dog named Bozo, saddled with too large a house, albeit in the beautiful Cotswolds village, worrisome mortgage payments, a bossy younger sister, and irksome ex-husband. Althea still manages to muddle through life comfortably enough until she loses her job. Seeking solace in her borrowed greenhouse, Althea decides to develop her passion for gardening, and when she wins the opportunity to design a garden at the Chelsea Flower Show with the unexpected help of gorgeous architect Patrick Donahue, it looks as though Althea may have unearthed a new man as well as a new career. So that one sounds really actually good. I love books set in England, and all of Katie Ford's books, I'm positive, are set in England. The next Katie Ford one is called Practically Perfect, and this is what this one looks like. So this one says, Anna, a newly qualified interior designer, has decided it's time to put her money and expertise where her mouth is. She risks everything on buying a tiny but adorable cottage so she can renovate it, sell it on, and prove to her family that she can earn her own living. Outside the chocolate box cottage is perfect, but inside all is chaos, with a ladder for a staircase, no downstairs flooring, candles, the only form of lighting, and a sleeping bag, and a camping mat for a bed, and is soon wondering whether she has bitten off more than she can chew. Her neighbour Chloe comes to rescue, providing tea, wine, and sympathy, and a recently rescued greyhound, Caroline. But just as Anne is starting to believe she's found the perfect ideal, the good-looking yet impossible Rob Hunter arrives on the scene, putting up more obstacles than the Grand National. Can Anna get over all of life's hurdles? So another super cute one. Then I've got another Katie Ford one. This one is called Life Skills. Super cute cover as well. So this one says, a combination of overwork and jet lag propels Julia Fairfax into becoming engaged to a golf-playing wine buff called Oscar. But when she realizes that she has fonder feelings for his adorable Labrador than for Oscar himself, she is forced to confront the fact that there is something drastically wrong. Ditching her fiancé and jacking in her job, she decides to revolutionize her life. Her new career as a cook on a pair of hotel boats, it's another boat one, is certainly a departure and teaches her more about life than how to get a couple of narrow boats through a lock. But even afloat, Julia's past catches up with her. Not only must she contend with the persistent Oscar, not to mention his frightful mother and her own mother's determined matchmaking, but also the arrival of her childhood enemy, the enigmatic Fergus Grimley. Super cute. So that's like another boat book, which is really cool. And then the last Katie Ford one I got was Highland Fling, another super cute book cover. This one says, when virtual assistant Jenny Porter's boyfriend accuses her of being impulsive, soft-hearted, and unbusinesslike, dashing off to Scotland to sort out a failing mill for one of her clients may not be the best way of proving him wrong. And promising to help run a mobile burger bar before she's even found her feet doesn't help matters. When she finds herself determined to save the mill, whatever her client's wishes, it seems that Henry's accusations may have contained more than a grain of truth. So when Jenny's awkward encounters with the abrasive but disconcertingly attractive Ross Grant develop into something more complicated, just as Henry arrives in Scotland to reclaim her, it's time for Jenny to make some decisions. Should she do the sensible thing and follow Henry back to London, or is her Highland adventure more than just a fling? This one is super cute. I'll be honest with you, I picked this up obviously because it was a Katie Ford and I like Katie Ford's books, but also the fact that it said Highland in it. I love a good Scottish story. So those were all of the Katie Ford books I got. I managed to find 6 of her books, which is great. The next 4 books are going to be all historical romances. Now, I'm new really to historical romances. I've only ever read, I think, 1 or 2. So I don't really know much about them. And to be honest with you, I went into finding historical romances with no rhyme or reason. I was just going off of the covers. I am a cover buyer. If the cover doesn't attract me, I will not read it. And just, it is what it is. And so for whatever reason, these covers spoke to me, so I picked them up. I literally have no idea what they're about, so there's that. But also, I didn't want to just purchase any historical romance either. Like, I just didn't want to pick up like a whole bunch, because let me tell you, there was thousands and thousands of historical romances there. I just really wanted to start small and work my way into historicals. So the first one I've got is from an author called Madeline Hunter. I've never heard of her before, so I don't know who she is. And the book is called Lord of 1,000 Nights, and this is what it looks like. The cover just kind of spoke to me, but also it has a step back, which I love. So this is the step back. I have been binge watching booktubers like talking about historicals and doing historical romance book hauls, and the step backs. The step backs get me every time. So this particular one says, called the Lord of 1,000 Nights, Ian of Guildford was famed as much for his feats in the bedroom as on the battlefield, but Lady Rayna Graham had no idea of this when, disguised as a courtesan, she passed behind enemy lines with a desperate plan to save her people. Now sitting in the tent of the drizzlingly handsome warrior who commanded the army outside her gates, the beautiful widow suddenly realized that she had underestimated her foe. She found herself in the company of a man whose charms were said to be impossible to resist and who shows no mercy in laying siege to her heart and body with every sensual weapon in his arsenal. For the sake of her people, she must not give in, and she must somehow turn this legendary lover who never lost his heart into a man who would exchange all his 1,000 nights for one with her. So that sounds so good, you guys, and I just really like that cover. So that's the first historical romance I've got. The next one I picked up because the cover, you guys, the cover drew me in. This book, though, is probably the worst condition of all of the books I've got. I will probably have to put a bit of tape on the back cover a bit, because the back cover is a bit bent, possibly a bit on the spine. We'll see how we go, but this one's the worst condition one. So this one is by Anita Mills. I don't know who this author is either, and the book is called Autumn Rain, and it is a metallic cover, but look at that cover, you guys. That cover, I didn't even need to know what this was about. It's the cover that drew me in. And it also has a step back as well, and the step back is glorious. Look at the step back, you guys. It's just, yeah. So this one says, when Eleanor Ashton's debt-ridden father forces her into a loveless marriage with the elderly but enormously wealthy Lord Kingsley, she becomes the unhappiest bride of London society, and the property of a man whose jealousy leads him to concoct an unspeakable scheme. Lucien de Clare is Regency England's handsomest and most brazen lord, a man whose scandalous behaviour had closed the doors of polite society against him, making him the perfect pawn in Kingsley's despicable plot to secure an heir. But the scenario for deceitful seduction yields to true desire as Lucian is overcome by Eleanor's beauty and charm, and as Eleanor opens her innocent heart to Lucian's demanding passion, releasing a rush of excitement, terror, and longing, and not even treacherous intrigue and vengeful deeds can temper the power of their hungry kisses or dampen the fire that makes their love glow. That sounds so good, you guys. Like, so good. So glad I got that one. And then the next one I got was this one here. So this one is called Bride of Mist by Christina Sky. Now, again, it was a cover that drew me in. This one doesn't have a step back, unfortunately, but the cover is just so pretty. And I believe this is part of a series called Bridge of Dreams. I could be wrong, but I think it is. I honestly don't even know what the number of this book is in the series. I literally didn't care. But the cover, you guys, the cover is just so pretty. I loved that cover, all the autumn leaves and everything, and it's metallic, and I loved it. So this one says, at rose-covered Draycott Abbey, in a savage age of chivalry, a war-wearing knight defends a mysterious lady from danger and swears himself her champion for all time. Centuries later, a startling psychic vision draws a gifted bridal rider to a rugged castle veiled in Highland mist and to its I never know how to pronounce this word, enigmatic lad, is it lad? Duncan McKinnon. From the moment they meet, Cara Fitzgerald can sense they share an ancient secret destiny. On a stormy Scottish shore, they are swept up in breathtaking passion, even as a ghostly guardian warns of the coming danger. For a callous enemy stalks the crags of Dunraven Castle. A timeless menace the cynical Scotsman and beautiful American must confront together, armed only with the power of their eternal love. And to be honest with you, it's in Scotland. Do I need to say any more? Like, yes. Yes. So, super excited for that one. And then the last historical romance I got was this one. It's called The Hostage Bride by Jane Feather. This is another one, author that I've never heard of. But the cover drew me in again. So this is what that looks like. It's super pretty, it's metallic and purple, and I just really liked it. It also does have a pretty good step back as well. That is the step back. And then this one says, on the back, it says, here is the first of my new brides trilogy, in which 3 unconventional young women vow they will never marry, only to be overtaken by destiny. Bride number 1 is the outspoken Portia. It's bad enough that 17-year-old Portia Worth is taken in by her uncle, the Marquis of Granville, after her father dies. As the bastard niece, Portia knows she can expect little beyond a roof over her head and a place at the table. But it truly adds insult to injury when the Granvilles' arch-enemy, the outlaw Rufus Decatur, hatches a scheme to abduct the Marquis' daughter only to kidnap Portia by accident. Portia, who possesses more than a streak of independence as well as a talent for resistance, does not take kindly to being abducted, mistakenly or otherwise. Decatur will soon find himself facing the challenge of his life, both on the battlefield and in the bedroom, as he contends with this misfit of a girl who has the audacity to believe herself the equal of any man. So this one sounds super good. So I am intrigued by this one. Like I said, I've never read anything from Jane Feather before, so this one's really sounds really good. And like I said, it was literally the cover that drew me in. So those were all of the historical romances I got. Then I found 2 cozy mysteries. I did find some other cozy mysteries, but I ended up putting them back because they were actually really, really old cozy mysteries. They were published before I was born. And while I do have some in that age bracket, I decided against these particular ones I didn't want to buy them just simply because they were cozy. So I put those other ones back, but I did get 2 cozies that I saw that I was like, yes. So this one here is called Sprinkle with Murder by Jen McKinley. This is the first book in the Cupcake Bakery Mysteries, and I have seen this one on Goodreads, and this is actually one of the cozy mysteries that I have wanted to read for a while now, so I'm actually glad to get it because, believe it or not, here in Australia, cozy mysteries are not popular, and they're actually really hard to buy in Australia. So this particular one was not something that I wanted to spend the money on here in Australia because it was really expensive. So to find it for $2.50, I was really happy with that. So this one says Melanie Cooper and Angie Delora are finally living out their dream as the proud owners of the Fairy Tale Cupcakes Bakery. Their first big order is a sweet deal: 2 500 cupcakes for fashion designer wedding. The only sour note is the demanding bridezilla who insists on original recipe for the cupcakes. When Mel stumbles upon the bride to be dead by a cupcake, she immediately becomes a prime suspect. The police believe that a secret ingredient in the cupcakes caused her death. To save Mel and their business, the ladies need to find the real murderer before the cupcake killer ices someone else. And it also says this one includes recipes, which, to be honest with you, most cozy mysteries do. So this one sounds really good. And then the next cozy mystery I found, which I'm super excited for because I've never seen this one, but the cover, when I saw the cover, I knew immediately that I wanted it. So there's that. This one is called Skein of the Crime by Maggie Sefton, and I don't know what number in the series it is, but it is a part of a knitting mystery series, and the cover is what drew me in. It's super cute. If you are new to my videos, you don't know, I am a knitter. I do knit, so this was way up my alley. So this one says, fall has come to Fort Connor, Colorado, and the cool air has inspired the knitters at the House of Lambspun to start on their hats and mittens while one person is inspired to kill. Kelly Flynn is happy to teach new students the stitches of the trade. Even Holly, the young woman who had appeared in Kelly's backyard a month earlier, dazed and confused. Though Holly has a bit of a checkered past, she is turning over a new leaf with the help of the crew at the House of Lambspun. So when she's found dead on the river trail near Kelly's house, Kelly feels compelled to investigate. Rounding up her knitting pals for help, she finds herself following a path of clues that twists more easily than the yarn with which she knits. Worried that someone with harmful intent could be closer than she thinks, Kelly must work fast to unravel the skein of this crime. So this one sounds like it's going to be such a good one, and I love the fact that this is based on knitting. It also does say that this has knitting patterns included. I don't entirely know. Now, let me have a look. I don't know, it just says recipes and knitting patterns included, but I don't see them. Unless they're just mixed throughout the book, I don't know. Maybe they are, I don't know. But anyway, there's that one. And then the very last book I got is just a normal contemporary romance, and this is called Cider Brook by Carla Neggers, and this is a part of the Swift River series. I do not know what book in the series it was. I just liked the look of it, so I grabbed it. Not that big of a deal. So this is what the cover looks like. And this one says, being rescued by a good-looking bad boy firefighter isn't how Samantha Bennett expected to start her stay in Knightsbridge, Massachusetts. Now she has everyone's attention, especially that of Justin Sloan, her rescuer, who wants to know why she was camped out in an abandoned old New England cider mill. Samantha is a treasure hunter who has returned to Knightsbridge to solve a 300-year-old mystery and salvage her good name. Justin remembers her well. He was the one who alerted her late mentor to her dubious past and got her fired, but just because he doesn't trust her doesn't mean he can resist her. Samantha is daring, determined, seized by wanderlust, everything that strong, stoic Justin never knew he wanted until now. So this sounds like a really good one. This one is a Harlequin romance book, so there's that. Like I said, this is a part of a series. It's called The Swift River. I don't know what series that's a part, like what number in the series it is, but I will have to look it up. But that is that, you guys. So that's all of the books that I managed to buy today. I could have bought more, but I just didn't want to buy books for the sake of buying it. So I'm really, really happy with the books that I did get though, because I got 13 books. Sorry about the noise there. There was a truck going by. But I did get 13 books, and I'm really happy with everything that I got, especially the six Katie Ford books, because she was one of the authors that were on my list, and I really liked the book that I read of hers that I own, so I was really excited to find all of these. They are in a mass market paperback size though, compared to the other one, which is a lot larger, and I'm really excited to start my historical romances off with these four here. They seemed like really good ones. I will let you know when I do read them. I don't know when I will, but when I do, I'll let you know. Because I really liked the look of the covers. It's purely cover buy for me here. And then the two mysteries that I got, and then this a romance here, but this one looks like it also has a mystery in it, so that can be really intriguing. But that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed this little book haul, and I will see you guys later. Bye!